Welcome to Around and Around, the OCD Circle. My name is Elizabeth, and I have been living with Obsessive-Compulsive Disorder for over 60 years. I am not a therapist or a member of the medical community. I am just an ordinary person like yourself who will be sharing my thoughts and experiences with you, with the hope that you will feel less alone. If you don't have OCD, I hope you will learn some information that will help you understand this disorder better. Some of the topics I will be covering may be triggering for you as a listener. If so, I apologize in advance. Since I don't know what your triggers are, please refer to the episode summary in the show notes before listening to each episode. If at any time you feel like hurting yourself or ending your life, please call the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline by dialing 988 if you are in the United States. It is open 24 hours a day, and you will be connected with the nearest crisis center to receive immediate counseling and local mental health referrals. Now, on to today's episode. Good morning. Welcome back, everyone, to Around and Around the OCD Circle. Today I have for you part one of my conversation with Michael and Traci Perkins to discuss how one partner having obsessive-compulsive disorder can affect relationships. As you may remember, Traci and I talked in a previous episode about her OCD and her experience on the reality show, The OCD Project. I encourage you to go back and listen to that conversation if you haven't already. People in relationships with individuals who have obsessive-compulsive disorder may encounter various challenges. It's important to note that OCD affects individuals differently, and the severity of symptoms can vary. Traci and Michael discuss candidly some common issues that they face with Traci's OCD, such as reassurance seeking, rigid routines, time-consuming rituals, and misunderstandings and frustration. And I mentioned some of my wife's comments about these issues as well. Now, on to today's episode. Hi, Traci. Good to talk to you again.
Hi, Beth. How's it going?
Great. Do you have someone you want to introduce me to?
You know what, Beth? Tonight you're in for a treat. I have here the one and only Michael Perkins.
Hi, Michael.
Hi.
It's great to meet you.
It's nice to meet you too.
How long have you known Traci?
Oh gosh.
Kindergarten?
Yeah, we were actually born in the same hospital 2 days apart.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
So
Same year.
Yeah.
Don't tell her the year.
That's amazing. When did you guys decide that you liked each other differently than as toddlers?
Yeah. We kind of
You be real careful with
we
this.
had a little thing for each other even as far back as elementary school.
Yeah.
Like we just had a connection and we never forgot each other as life kind of drifted us apart.
Yeah. And go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh no, so she just happened to find me on MySpace
We're old.
and messaged me just out of the blue, and we met up, and she was with somebody else at the time, but we just started up a friendship and just kind of blossomed from there.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I didn't leave my boyfriend at the time for Michael. Let me make that clear.
Okay. And how long have y'all been together now?
God
What,
dang.
about 13 years?
We started
About, yeah.
dating officially in December of 2010.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That was after the OCD project came out.
Oh, it was, huh?
Yes, it was.
It was the same
Yeah.
year.
Yeah, it sure was, because that aired in what, early 2010?
I believe so. And so, Michael, when you got back together with Traci, did you know she had OCD?
Yes.
Yeah, he did.
Did she tell you, or did you just see it?
No, she told me. I was aware of it pretty shortly after she had found me on MySpace. She was pretty open with it with me. So,
Oh, yeah.
So I was aware of it, and I was aware of her being on the show. So yeah.
Well, tonight we have a really great topic that I haven't talked about yet on my podcast, and that is some common issues that people may face when their partners have OCD. And so I thought you were the perfect couple to talk about this. So I have different topics we're going to go over, and then I happen to ask my wife some of these questions. So if my wife chimed in, I'm going to let you guys know what she said.
Yeah.
So the first topic is reassurance seeking.
Oh, God. Should I leave the room now? Jeez.
Individuals with OCD may seek constant reassurance about their fears and anxieties. This can become emotionally draining for their partners, as they may feel compelled to repeatedly provide reassurance, and it may never be enough to alleviate the anxiety. So you guys want to chime in, and then I'll tell you what my wife said.
That sounds pretty spot on.
Yeah.
It can be exhausting. Just repeating the same things over and over again. I don't think that's something that anybody likes to do anyways.
Well, and no, I do want to say this, Beth, to his credit. He really is a supportive guy, and I know it's draining, and I do try to watch myself.
Yeah.
But I know, but as an example, when it's storming, there's not enough reassurance in the world, and
Right.
he kind of gets mad at me, and I mean, I'm not blasting you, Michael, but it doesn't help when you get mad
Right.
at me, but I know he gets tired of reassuring me there's not a tornado, there's not a tornado.
Yeah, we talked about tornadoes last time on the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I would definitely say it does get exhausting sometimes. I think just not because I think the important thing is just reminding yourself that, she can't help it.
I'm sorry.
It's not something that she necessarily has control over. So, and it's just a part of the package, I guess. It's just, I wouldn't even say it's necessarily a bad thing. Like, I don't even view it as that. I think earlier in the relationship, that's one of the nice things about growing in the relationship together, is I think earlier in the relationship, that's one of the things that I probably didn't handle as well as I do now. Just because you get used to it the further down the road you go with the same person. You get used to it and you understand more where it's coming from. And I think that's a big thing that we're probably gonna repeat a lot
I'm sorry.
tonight is understanding and patience. Like, I think that is just very key.
Would you say that's how you handle it differently now?
Yes.
Yes.
Are you expecting bad weather tonight?
No, it's rainy.
It's raining.
But when there's clouds in the sky, she's always kind of wary.
Yeah, I'm watching the radar tonight.
Yeah, so even when it's just raining, she needs reassurances that is that all it is.
Well, I mean, my gosh, I've checked Channel 5. Our meteorologist is on there. I must have checked that 4-6 times already. Because as you know, Beth, everything's even with me.
Right, we're expecting 80% chance rain all night.
Oh. I mean, rain's cool. I don't mind rain. It's just when it starts to go severe. Yeah,
But you're looking right now to see if it's going to become severe.
Yeah, I'm actually looking as we speak.
Well, I was looking a few minutes ago as well.
Not because you're worried about tornadoes, right?
No, I was just curious how long this is going to go on.
Oh, okay. And see, just like that, Beth, I wish I could be that way. Like, you're genuinely just curious. You're not worried that your life's in danger. And actually, oh, right here, look. No storms, no wintry mess, just a nice light soaking rain. Boom.
It's 12 hours again.
Thank you. And see, and then he's a jackwad and says stuff like that. Why do you, he likes to play with me sometimes.
Yeah. Well, sometimes you have to laugh at yourself, Traci.
Oh, you know I do.
I'm going to tell you what my wife said.
Yes.
The two that I've had the most trouble with are, do you love me? And are you mad at me? I probably said those 10 times a day. And I've stopped pretty much, but now what I'm doing is I'm saying, I'm not going to ask this question. And she's like, but that means you already have asked the question because I know what you're going to ask. And she says she doesn't get upset with me unless I don't stop, which I eventually do, but she gets mad when I keep saying it. So I'm doing better, but now I'm still saying I'm not going to ask this question. It's the only way I've been able to figure out how to do it.
Beth, I wonder if I could ask you something about that. Does it irritate you at all? Because I know I've done this with, Michael Perkins. It's like, well, God, I'm really trying here. Why do I have to hold back? Why do I have to not be me? Do you ever feel that way?
Yes, but I also get her point that I'm asking a question that I really already know the answer to.
Mm-hmm.
And there were times when I was really petrified of being locked out of the house, probably had been locked out or something. So anytime we left, I'd always say, do you have your keys? Do you have your keys? Do you have your keys? Say over and over, yes, I have my keys. And when we closed the trunk of the car, do you have your keys? And it's been, it would just get irritating to her. So she started holding her keys up and kind of jingling them before I would ask. And that's kind of how I've broken it. But I still find myself asking her that sometimes when she forgets to jingle them.
Michael's laughing.
Yeah. So, sometimes the partner can do something to kind of help that that question not being asked, I guess is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter how many times she tells me she loves me every day. I'm still going to ask her, are you mad at me?
Yeah.
And she'll
I
just
get
say,
that.
she'll just say, no, I don't feel well. I'm not mad at you. I just don't feel well. Or we're good. She'll say, we're good. Oh, that's the other thing I'll say. Are we good? We're good. Okay.
Yeah. I get that.
Is there anything else we want to say about reassurance seeking before we go to the next topic?
Anything else? No, other than I do want Michael Perkins and everybody that I love and the audience to know that, yeah, I get it. I get that it's exhausting. And I do try to modify, but I just would ask people to please consider what it's like in my head. Mm-hmm. It's exhausting for me.
Oh, yeah. No, and I mean, I think that's the other thing that I remind myself, too, is that I remind myself that as frustrating as it is for me hearing it,
yeah,
how frustrating it must be to constantly be thinking it.
It is.
So both sides have to consider the other.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%.
Yeah. Okay, very good. We're going to move on to the next topic, which is rigid routine. OCD often involves strict routines and rituals. This rigidity can be challenging for partners who may find it difficult to adapt or make spontaneous decisions. This can impact the flexibility and spontaneity in the relationship. Does this resonate with you at all in your relationship?
I'm going to let you answer that. I'm not sure.
I honestly, this might sound a little weird, but I actually think that I'm probably, as far as rigidness with routine and things like that go, I think I'm probably worse with that than she is.
And he's not OCD.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I would agree with that.
Like every morning when we're getting ready to go to work, I'm downstairs staring at my watch waiting because I want to be out of the house at 7:15, and if it's 7:16, I'm pacing, wanting to know where she's at.
You done, honey? You done? God. Such a butt. No, and you know what, Beth? That actually brings up a really good point. And I quit laughing. I know that you know this. That just goes to show that not everyone with OCD is the same. Because, yeah, I would say of the two of us, I'm the more spontaneous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there might be somebody listening at home that's not. So
Right.
Yeah.
I'm just bringing all of these in to play. But my wife said no as well. She said that it doesn't really affect our routine at all. Like,
Right.
she appreciates that I like to be on time, but my wanting to be on time has nothing to do with my OCD. That has to do with being raised by a father who would stare at his watch, and if you're 1 minute late to the car, he's leaving.
Ditto.
So he's Michael.
So we can move on from that one. The next one is time-consuming rituals.
Oh, God.
Rituals and compulsions can be time-consuming. Partners may feel frustrated or stressed when activities are delayed or plans are disrupted due to these rituals.
Yeah.
I don't think that I get frustrated with the rituals. If anything, I have to catch myself sometimes because I wouldn't say that I find it humorous that she has to do them so much so that she makes funny faces and stuff. Like, we laugh at it when we're at home and she does them.
Yeah.
Like when she's got to tap the door a certain number of times, or she's got to bang her phone on the desk like a certain number of times before she gets in the bed.
Tell her about coming to bed. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, just things like that. I don't get frustrated with it ever, though. It's not something that like ever bothers me, but I do think sometimes I could be, I guess, a little bit more empathetic, because there's some people that I think probably feel like they're trapped by it and probably don't feel very good that they are compelled to have to do that. Mm-hmm. I just hope that my reaction to that with Traci doesn't make her feel like I'm making fun of her. I'm just trying to make her feel at ease and understand that, you know, it's okay. You know?
Michael Perkins has never, he's, like I said, he's pretty darn good about it, and he's never made me feel, the most he'll do is if I'm up here doing a ritual and it's 7:16, like we talked about, you know, pull away from it, let's go. we can mostly laugh. Like, we have this thing when I get in the bed, and I gotta turn off the light 20 times, and I gotta tap the phone 20 times. I'll say, cool, when I'm done. It's an inside joke, but it cracks me up.
Yeah, I think this would apply to people who, before they leave the house, they have to, like, check something 25, 30 times, and they're running extremely late. Their partner's ready to go, and they just keep doing the same things over and over. I think this would apply to them. We don't have that in my household, so.
Yeah, I had a roommate back in school years ago that he had a wall locker, and when he would lock his stuff up in the locker in the morning, he would stand in front of that door and just stand there for 15, 20 minutes pressing the door to make sure the door wouldn't open up after he locked it before he would walk away from it.
He had OCD?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So in situations like that's just, like, that's heartbreaking to me that,
yeah, it sucks.
you know, like, being trapped in that, like,
yeah.
Unfortunately, like, I haven't seen that with her, and we haven't had to deal with something like that, but yeah, I could see how that would definitely affect somebody and affect couples for sure.
Yeah, it reminds me of, like, when you're tapping something 5 or 10 times, that doesn't take that long, but it reminds me of Elizabeth McInvale. I believe, Traci, you can correct me if I'm wrong. I think she had to wash her hair like 30 times.
I honestly don't remember. That was the gal on the show with us, right?
Right. It was a very high number of times. And I was in her support group for a while, and I believe it was in the 30s. So she couldn't leave the shower.
Wow.
That would run someone extremely late. Or like the girl on the OCD project, Kristen, I remember she was washing in the bathroom for like 2 or 3 hours to get ready for work.
Mm-hmm. And she was often late.
Yes, so time consuming.
Mm-hmm.
So I imagine we have people listening now who have those type of rituals that take up a lot of their time
Yeah.
Yeah, and
and interfere with their life.
my heart goes out to them because I get it.
Mhm. All right, let's go to the next one.
Yeah.
Misunderstanding and frustration. Partners may struggle to understand the nature of OCD and its impact on their loved one. Frustration can arise when they attempt to help but feel unable to alleviate the distress caused by obsessive thoughts and compulsive behaviors. Any thoughts on that one?
Take it away.
I think that happens more often than not.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't. It's kind of hard to explain, really. I know it just certain things will just happen, and for whatever reason they just stick, and then it's a battle sometimes. And then I mean, my biggest thing, and Traci's mom has actually been helping me with this a lot. I don't even know if she's aware of this, but her mom has been really helping me with, you don't always have to fight, like
What does that mean?
we've been together long enough that recognizing when you're fighting an idea, or you're arguing an idea or an issue, versus when I'm arguing with the OCD. Because if I'm arguing with the OCD, I'm not going to win.
You're talking to my mom? No, I mean, I'm not mad at him, by the way. But, like, she gets it? Because, see, I don't think my mom, I mean, I love my mom. I have a very good mom, but I didn't think she got it. She's telling you that?
Yeah. Well, she's helped me with that a lot of times, because we have our arguments, because I think all couples argue.
Sure.
But I think there's another layer to it because of, the OCD, obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've learned, just over, again, the time together and just talking with other people, in our extended family that know Traci, and then my own knowledge of Traci, that yeah, when it's something that has to do with the OCD, you can't fight that. The only thing that you can do is, she knows when it's the OCD.
I do.
And
for the most part,
and
yes.
it's basically just not making things worse and just kind of giving it time, and then eventually things work out, but not.
But
yeah.
Well, no, I hear what. Sorry, and I'm doing it right now. See, listening
okay.
to. I mean, I get what you're saying, but just like, okay, when I need reassurance with storms, or reassurance even that you're not going to die, my mom's not going to die, this and that, it's like, isn't everybody afraid of that? Like, doesn't everybody want reassurance that... I don't know. I don't really know where I'm going with that. It just is... Not everything I do is OCD.
Well, no, I don't think everything you do is OCD, but
I mean... I
think that there's certain things that are affected by it. I mean, like the whole reassurances of certain things, like...
Well, because just like here recently, you don't mind me sharing about the Fayetteville, right?
No.
Okay. Beth, I don't even know if you know this, but here recently, Michael had what's called ketoacidosis, and that's a severe diabetic episode. which got him life flighted to the hospital. And you know me, my whole thing is keeping people I love alive, so I was driving my mom and sisters nuts with, and the doctors, is he going to be okay? Is he going to die? Are we good? Are we good? Just over and over and over and over, like the doctors, like, oh, I think they weren't getting irritated, but they heard it a lot.
Yeah, I think for this one where it says partners may struggle to understand the nature of OCD and its impact on their loved one, that what that means is that they need to educate themselves somehow about OCD, because
Right.
if they don't, then they're going to get more frustrated.
I agree.
Yes.
So my wife has been reading a lot about it. She's been listening to my podcast and starting to understand where I'm coming from more.
Awesome. Good
Yeah.
for her.
Well, Traci's actually one of the reasons that I actually got an associate's degree in psychology.
I'm trying not to laugh because we're not supposed to be talking over one another.
Sorry. I'm
But
sorry.
I want to laugh, but I can't because I don't want to echo.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it just, it helps, I mean, it helps anyways just dealing with people in general
Yeah.
and understanding people, but it just, I think that is key. Like, if you're going to be in a relationship with somebody, even if they don't have OCD, why wouldn't you want to know as much as you can about them?
I love you. See,
You know?
Beth, I really love this guy.
I can tell.
Yes. And no, and I just, I think I speak for everyone with OCD, but just, we don't like having our partners having to do these things. It sucks that they have to learn about it and go out of their way and be inconvenienced and be, like, I wish he didn't have to.
Right. And I wonder how many relationships have ended because of OCD.
Yeah, no kidding.
Right, but see, that's the thing is, like, you use all those words, but I don't feel that way. I don't feel like I'm going out of the way or inconvenienced or anything. It just, like...
Then that means you're the right guy.
Right,
Yes,
like, I choose to be with you, so, like that's just... It seems like that's just the normal stuff that I would do.
I really like this guy. Go ahead, Beth.
Well, my wife said to this, she said that she feels bad because she can't help and that I have to just go through it.
Yeah.
And so that's what makes her feel bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've actually told Traci a few times that, like, if I knew a way that I could just get in there and just take it out, I would in a heartbeat, but it doesn't work that way.
I hope you enjoyed part 1 of my conversation with Michael and Traci Perkins. Join me next Monday for the conclusion. We will be discussing avoidance behaviors, impact on social life, emotional toll, therapy and treatment challenges, and balancing support and boundaries. Be sure to check out our Facebook page for extra support. We would love to have you as a member. It's absolutely free to join. I would love to have you as a guest on my podcast to share your OCD story. Please contact me at aroundandaroundtheocdcircle@gmail.com if you're interested. Feel free to follow me on my social media platforms. The links are listed in the show notes. Remember, you are not alone. I am in your corner. OCD cannot be cured, but it can be managed, and I am living proof of that. I hope each of you has a wonderful week. See you next Monday.